Yo, what is going on, fans and coaches of the ASL? My name is Socho322 here, and today I'll be bringing you guys the ASL Season 6 Week 3 weekly recap. And, so I'll be bringing you the weekly recap today. If you guys saw transactions that went up yesterday, that was a very long video. Unfortunately, Susie was not able to be in it, so you guys are getting just me 2 days in a row. And, let's go ahead and start looking into the week. We have a 5-0, 2-0, 4-0, 3-0, 2-0, 1-0, 5-0, and I don't think I have any announcements to say. So screw it, let's just get into it. So for the first match, we have the Wenters Weavile taking on the Hartford Whalmers, and Vish is going to go 0-3, a surprising start from a previous ASL champion, but TCP getting the better of him with a lot of kills coming out from that Megalodios. Not going to be getting weekly hero because it's already gotten one, so yeah, let's just hop into it. So we have Megalodios against Semion here, and Vish is going to swap out immediately, pretty much confirming the fact that he's not scarfed. And this Megalodios is going to go for the Thunderwave for this Slowking coming in. Now the Slowking is going to go for the Ice Beam taking a Thunderbolt. That is a very, very bulky Slowking. I would like to say that that's Assault Vest, but I could be wrong on that. But Heatran is going to go for the Magma Storm, trying to lock this thing in. Could possibly be a Toxic variant. TCP is just going to go ahead and go for the Roost, but Vish is packing the tech. He's got the Dark Pulse on there to try and do some big damage to this thing. And he's going to opt to set up his rocks and then fire off another Dark Pulse, as TCP is in a little bit of a tough spot with this Latios. But Vish now goes out into his Zydoge, which will be outspeeding this, and he's going to double into Slowking, predicting something like Milotic or Avalug to come out. So Vish can fire off a free attack here, but he's going to opt to go into Gyarados instead. He's going to get the Intimidate off on the Diggersby. He will obviously live this next hit, and then Gyarados is going to go for the Dragon Tail, as it is Rocky Helmet. So this is probably there for a setup variant of Diggersby, quite possibly. Maybe. But the Megalodios is going to go for Psychic, as Slowking is going to take some damage. Slowking is unable to move, very unfortunate for him. But this Silvally can come in. Silvally Steel is going to be able to handle this Megalodios relatively well. It's going to go ahead and go for the Parting Shot, get on out of there, go into the Heatran, and then Hitmonlee is going to come out. And the Heatran does miss the Magma Storm, so very unfortunate for Vish. He does go into his Gyarados though, which will be able to live any hit. It's going to get some Rocky damage off also onto this Hitmonlee, and Hitmonlee goes for the Rapid Spin, and Vish is going to fire off the rest. So he might have Sleep Talk on this set. Either way, TCP is going to go into his Megalodios, as Vish does go into his Semion. So yeah, further confirming that he's not a Choice Scarf Semion, otherwise he would just U-turn on out. But this Latios is going to double Psychic, trying to catch Vish doubling out. But the Slowking gets a crit on the Foul Play and then goes for the Ice Beam. So Vish is ready for everything with this. He's ready for a Dragon Dance variant with the Foul Play. So good on him for having a really good Slowking set this week. Really putting in a lot of work, puts this Latios in a really tough spot every time. And TCB is going to be running out of Roost soon enough, so Slowking, just trying to keep chipping this thing down, keep firing off Ice Beams. It's going to go for the Foul Play. Does not kill. Would have needed a crit to kill on that turn, but obviously the Latios is just going to roost up. It's going to roost up again as Heatran comes out. Heatran is paralyzed, which is a little unfortunate because it's going to get paralyzed again. And then Latios goes for the Psychic, predicting the swap. Going to be paralyzed again, and down goes the Heatran. So 3 full paralyses in a row. That absolutely sucks. So out comes the Slowking. It's gonna go for the Ice Beam. It's this endless game of trying to chip down this Latios. He's gonna get a paralysis. So Vish is being absolutely throttled with hacks right now, and a special defense drop. TCP, you gotta chill, man. You have to chill. You're hacking this man out of this game. So out comes the Roserade, trying to put some pressure on the Slowking, but Vish doubles into Semion and he misses the Gunk Shot. This is not even a game anymore. This is not even fair. Vish has had no opportunities to stay in this game because of hacks, so I really, really feel bad for him. I mean, he would have been in an okay position if he wasn't hacked to death with his Heatran. He's gonna get crit there. I really doubt the crit matters. I don't think it did, but it's just, you know, salt in the wound. But anyways, Zydoge comes in, clicks Outrage. I mean, Avalugg is gonna soak up this hit and can kill it with literally anything it clicks. And Avalanche is gonna pick off the Zydoge. So there goes any hope of the Mega Latios. Excuse me, the Mega Latios dying. The Mega Latios is gonna go for a Thunderbolt here. It's gonna get a crit. Slowking is gonna be paralyzed. Slowking might be able to live another one. It can. It's gonna go for the Ice Beam here, and then all TCP has to do is just keep clicking Thunderbolt. He will win this game because Gyarados is the last Mon. And yeah, out comes Slowking. Slowking can live one, but he might be able to kill in return. But there's paralysis. So I feel, my God, I wasn't even in this game, and I feel so bad. Vish just got absolutely hacked out of it. I mean, I guess you could say TCP won. I'm not trying to dock TCP by any means, but like, Vish had no opportunity to even play the game. So yeah, that's gonna be the game on the first one. Just a yikes, even watching that, dude. Oh my God. Anyways, next game we have the Aussie Kangaskhan's taking on the PC Barcelona in a huge upset. Ian is thought to be one of the best battlers in the ASL, or at least trending towards the better side of it. And Shadow is typically in an underdog situation in most weeks, but it looks like Shadow is actually able to pull it out. So let's go ahead and see. We have Druddigon taking on Cobalion. Both parties can set up rocks, but the Druddigon is going to get the glare off, so not bad. Going to slow down that Cobalion, and now can set up the rocks, so very good value turn from Shadow. But he's going to get his Druddigon slept, which is a little unfortunate, but there was really nothing he could do to prevent it. And the Tentacruel is going to be out, but Slowbro is also out. Shadow doesn't care. He's just going to go for the Rapid Spin. He's almost going to lose his Tentacruel in the process, but the red card is going to get the Mega Altaria out. And expecting a Poison type move to come out here, En goes into his Cobalion, and then Shadow's just going to go out into his Druddigon, which will be able to chew hits from this Cobalion all day. And Druddigon is sitting in here with the Mega Altaria, which Mega Altaria just wants to click return and get some big damage off. And out comes Alolan Ninetales, however. Alolan Ninetales does a lot of work to En's team. It's a very good bring against him. Shadow's going to go for the Moonblast, get some big damage, and now can just fire off a pretty free Blizzard, but he's going to opt to go for the Moonblast again. And this Life Orb, Alolan Ninetales, is going to do some work. So out comes the Torn. And Shadow is just going to go ahead and sack off his Tentacruel. He does not need to risk something like a Supersonic Sky Strike or a Corkscrew Crash coming out from like Iron Tail. So the Alolan Sandslash is going to be boosted with speed and can do some work here, but Shadow has to get through this Slowbro. He's making good predictions right now, however, and he's putting En in a tough spot as the Torn is going to come out. Now that the Z move is burned, Shadow could stay in, but it's really not worth it because the Hail is not up, so Blizzard is not going to be hitting as hard. And this Nidoking is going to go for the Ice Beam, which the Amoonguss is packing the Yachi Berry. It's going to get a Sunspore off, but Shadow is going to go hard out into his Ninetales, which is going to pay off because out comes the Slowbro, which Slowbro is not going to appreciate this Life Orb Dark Pulse. It's going to be able to kill. And Shadow's doing a very good job of keeping En on the back foot with how En has to sack off his Mons. This Alolan Ninetales is going to do a big 55%. And Shadow is just going to leave in his Alolan Ninetales. And now he is going to go out into his Alolan Sandslash. I'm kind of surprised he didn't keep it because Alolan Sandslash actually wins the entire game. If it has Hail up, but you know, whatever works. And Shadow's going to be out with his Alolan Sandslash as En is going to be able to pick this thing off with Raikou, or I guess not, because Thunderbolt did not kill. And then out comes the Mega Altaria, which will be able to kill with Earthquake. But Mega Altaria is outsped by both of the two remaining Mons. And this Lycanroc is going to go ahead and click Swords Dance. So great play from Shadow here. And that play is going to award him the victory in Week 3, taking off one of the big teams up there and knocking En down to 2-1, as Shadow himself will improve to 2-1. So a very good start from Shadow, and yeah, congrats on that good start. So moving into the third game, we have the Denver Numbers taking on the Jersey Justice, as Milan is going to get back over 500, as the Master is going to, for the first time in the season, dip under 500, and I think this is the first game that we have Weekly Heroes. Yeah, Garchomp picking up 3 kills. And let's see it. So we have Superior and Metagross here. It's going to be heavily favoring the Metagross because Metagross lives any hit. Meteor Mash does big damage, and Milan is going to be able to get the boost. So all good for Milan right now. He's going to go for the rocks, as Bronzong also goes for the rocks. 2 Steel Psychic types wanting to exchange rocks. And good step for Milan here. He's going to try and give this thing the Iron Ball, which that definitely sucks for Milan because now he's going to have to Earthquake on the following turn. Like, that Trick Room could have been all but prevented. But instead, Milan is going to have to deal with it. He's just going to go for the Meteor Mash. It does huge damage. I mean, it's +1. He is going to lose his leftovers, which is a little unfortunate. But now he can go for the Bullet Punch, which he just opts to go for the Earthquake instead. And Milan is going to go out into his Golbat, as the War Turtle is going to go for the Rapid Spin. Get rid of those hazards. And then Golbat just goes for the Defog on the following turn. It's going to take an Ice Beam. That did 16 whole damage. 16 whole damage. War Turtle does not hit the gym often or at all. But anyways, War Turtle is going to go for the Ice Beam, and the Shaman is going to eat its Yachi Berry. Shaman then goes for the Toxic, just trying to wear down whatever comes in. And Milan is going to go out and do his designated answer for this thing in his Golbat, which, again, it's especially defensive. We saw from the War Turtle damage. And Milan is just going to U-turn on out of there. And he is going to go into his Metagross, which pretty much takes on everything pretty well. Thunder Punch this thing, but he just wants to go ahead and go out and do a Shaman instead. As this Mega Gyarados is going to Dragon Dance. It sucks that Milan lost his Yachi Berry, because Energy Ball is not going to even do half, and then Crunch is just going to do big damage, and Energy Ball is going to not kill, but Crunch will pick it off on the following turn. And out comes the Pangoro, which can go ahead and live this hit as a bulky boy. I'm pretty sure that's bulky Pangoro, otherwise I don't think you're living that. But Mew comes out here. This is exactly what Milan wants, but he's going to get frozen. That's so bad. Demaster gets rewarded for making a horrible play, so yeah, I guess. I truly don't know why he didn't go Hariyama, but you know, whatever. Mew's just gonna go for a second nasty plot. We're sitting at +4, but Licky Licky goes for the Dragon Tail. Now out comes Hariyama, and Hariyama is now gonna go for the close combat. It's gonna pick off the second member of Milan's team. And at this point, Garchomp just cleans up. It's gonna go for the Earthquake here. And out comes the Mew, which this Garchomp is going to go for the Dragonium Z. Get rid of that thing. And then War Turtle is not going to be killing with Ice Beam, I can assure you that. That was a crit, and it only did 90, so normal damage would have been like 60. And yeah, that thing is going to go for the Outrage, and Garchomp getting a nice little 3-kill sweep at the end. So yep, that is going to be the game. 4-0 for the Jersey Justice. And then we have the Chicago Conch Elders taking on the Philadelphia Flygons, as Dave will pick up his second win of the season, and Ferret unfortunately has not been able to pick up a win yet. He will soon, though, I'm sure. That's not alluding to anything. I haven't seen the Week 4 games. I'm just saying. Everyone gets wins at some point. But yeah, this is our second weekly hero of the week. We have Mega Pidgeot getting a big 4-kill stat line. And yeah, let's hop into it. So we have Chandelure coming out here. Chandelure wants to swap out immediately, is not interested in taking a Hurricane, as Barbarical seems to be interested in taking one. The Hidden Power Grass is going to come out here, as the Barbarical is going to go for Liquidation. Kind of surprised there was no Stone Edge there. But the Mega Pidgeot is going to get rid of that thing, and Sylveon comes out, and Dave is going to go right out into his Stack Attack, taking his Hyper Voice, which is now going to go for the Trick Room, and Mega Venusaur is going to take a lot of damage from that Gyro Ball, and then is going to go ahead and Sleep Powder the Stack Attacka, and expecting Dave to swap out, Ferret goes into Exploud, and then goes for a Focus Blast, which Dave does go into his Mesprit trying to take the hit. Mesprit sets up rocks, and Chandelure comes out to try and pressure it. Now Chandelure is going to go ahead and fire up a Flamethrower, as Zygarde is sitting in here. And Zygarde is going to go for the 1,000 Arrows, as the Chandelure eats up its Shucca Berry. And Shandy misses a Will-O-Wisp. And Dave is going to try and avoid that with a Substitute, but that does not work with an Infiltrator Mon on the field. So Chandelure is going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball on the following turn. Or the Taunt, I mean. As this proves to be a Subcoil Zygarde. and it is going to go for 1,000 arrows, which does not kill because it is burned, and then that Shadow Ball does a good healthy amount, and then another 1,000 arrows is going to come out, which does kill the Chandelure. So the Chicago Conch Elders are currently up 6-4, as Sylveon is going to come through, and obviously sound-based moves do go through substitutes. And this looks like a pretty fast Sylveon from the looks of it, because it was able to outspeed that Zygarde. And this Mesprit is going to come out on the X-Cloud, but X-Cloud is going to make that read and goes for the Shadow Ball. So good on Ferret's part. But this does allow Dave to go right out and do his Mega Pidgeot and just fire off a big Hurricane, which is going to be two-shotting the Sylveon quite easily. And Dave is going to go out and do a Stack Attacka, because it might be confirmed that this is Scarf Sylveon. I think it possibly is at this point. But the X-Cloud is going to go for a Focus Blast. Does get rid of the Stack Attacka, so down that goes. And X-Cloud obviously has to swap out, and Ferret is just going to sack off his Sylveon here, as Mesprit does pick up the kill. So Ferret is trying to claw this back, but he's at 3-4 at this point. But he's going to balance it out with a nice kill onto the Mesprit. So 3-3 right now. But Mega Pidgeot literally just clicks buttons and kind of wraps this entire thing up. So Mega Pidgeot going to be sitting in here. Haxorus is going to drop to the Hurricane. And if you think Mega Venusaur is living this hit, you are absolutely mental. And Mega Pidgeot is going to pick up 4 kills in the match. Big bird right there. Going to improve the Chicago Conch Elders to 2-1. So yep, that is the 4th game of the week. And let me get it right. There we go. So for the 5th game of the week, we have the Portland Timbers taking on the St. Louis Swablues, as they're going to both balance out at a 1-2 record, as Thundurus Therian is going to be one of the weekly heroes. And let's see how impactful it was in the game. So we're going to see a Rotom lead against a Rotom Heat lead, as the Rotom is going to go for the Volt Switch, and Rotom Heat is also going to go for the Volt Switch. So Volt Switch City right now. Slurpuff is going to come out as Kabutops comes out. Now the Kabutops is going to go for the Swords Dance, as the Slurpuff goes for the Yawn. So definitely unfortunate for myself. But Malone does make a good play there, goes for the Yawn. And now Slurpuff is going to go for the Wish, and Rotom is going to come out. Rotom goes for the Volt Switch, going out into Steelix, as Slurpuff just goes for the Yawn. So going to go back into Rotom Heat, as Malone goes into his Rotom. And now the Rotom goes for a Shadow Ball, as Rotom Heat goes for a Volt Switch, getting out into the Mega Lopunny, which will pressure this Rotom heavily. Mega Lopunny goes for a Fake Out, which does 40% big damage into the normal Rotom. And the Mega Slowbro is going to come out, taking pretty much nothing from that return. And Malone opts to go for the Toxic, as Latios is going to come out. And Latios is going to be doubled into Steelix, as the Slurpuff does come out. So Steelix is going to be yawned, but it is able to get a Toxic off on this Slurpuff. And the Rotom Heat is going to come out. So just a lot of pivoting at this point, because Malone decides to run Yawn. Yay, thanks for that. And the Rotom is going to go for an Overheat, which does pretty much nothing, all but confirming that this is a specially defensive Slurpuff. And of course he is Heal Bell, because why wouldn't he run Heal Bell? The Rotom is going to go for a Pain Split, just trying to get some health back. And the Slurpuff is going to do what it does most annoyingly and clicks Yawn. Now the Rotom is going to Hard Swap into the Steelix, and then Malone tries to Wish into his Donphan. As I go Virizion, we're going to both have Rocks up at this stage. Virizion is going to go for the Leaf Blade, gets that thing down super low, as he's going to be an Endeavor set. And I'm going to make a horrible play here, and I'm going to go ahead and sack up my Virizion. But it does get the Donphan pretty much out of the way. And Mega Lopunny comes out and goes for the Drain Punch and gets rid of the Donphan. So we're sitting at 5-5 at this point. And Mega Slowbro comes out. That's pretty much his designated answer for Mega Lopunny. And Latios will come out. It's going to take a Psychic and gets a Special Defense drop, which is really unfortunate. But the Slurpuff is going to be able to come out, as I do go for the Psych Shock and crit the Slurpuff. So the Latios is going to chip that Slurpuff down really low. Psyshock is going to do 11%, and then Mega Slowbro is going to be sitting here and can just double out into Slurpuff. But this Rotom will be able to kill with an Overheat, as yep, that's going to go ahead and pick up the Slurpuff, and the Portland Timbers will be at 5-4 at this stage. And Slowbro is going to come out, and Rotom is going to go for the Defog because it can live a Surf if it needs to. Surf or Scald, either one. The Rotom is going to go for a Pain Split as the Mega Slowbro does opt to go for the Surf here. And Malone goes into Rotom as I just Pain Split up again. Which is ultimately going to help out Malone in this situation. But Rotom does go for the Volt Switch as out comes the Steelix, and the Rotom normal form, I'm saying Rotom so much. Rotom normal form is going to go for a Shadow Ball, does good damage, and Steelix gets a nice Toxic off, and Malone is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, trying to prevent my attacks from doing a little bit more damage. So I will be hitting a little less hard, but I can get my rocks up, still provide useful in that regard, as both Mons are going to be taking status conditions, and Malone is going to go for the Volt Switch as I go for the Toxic. So we're both predicting swaps on that turn. A little interesting. And yeah, the Rotom is going to go for a Shadow Ball, get rid of the Steelix, and we're sitting at 4-4. Now Latios comes out, and Latios is going to go for the Psyshock, gets rid of the Rotom. And then out comes Thundurus, which is looking to be scarfed at this stage, and going to go to Kabutops, as Kabutops is going to be sacked off. And we are at 3-3 currently. So Mega Lopunny comes out. Mega Lopunny does go ahead and click the Toxic, predicting Mega Slowbro to come out. And the Rotom Heat is going to come out because Rotom Heat can live any one hit. And I'm going to double into Latios, expecting him to go for something like a Surf and Mega Evolve. So Malone is going to opt to stay in and just kill me off with a Psychic, but the Toxic damage has gotten this thing extremely low, and Mega Lopunny is going to just go ahead and fire off the Fake Out just to make sure that the Mega Slowbro will not speed me, and then Mega Lopunny can go for Drain Punch. Doesn't matter because Mega Slowbro will be sacked off here, but Malone has to hit 3 Focus Blasts to win the game. Let's go ahead and count, folks. There's 1. He's got to hit 2 more, and Rotom's going to be sitting in here. Does not outspeed. He hits another Focus Blast. Let's see. Can he hit the 3rd one? You already know because you know the outcome. Fake Out is going to come off. Does not do enough. Does not do enough. And Malone hits 3 Focus Blasts in a row. 34% chance of happening. And the St. Louis Swablues are going to win the game 2-0. I'm still salty over that. I'm sorry. That's so dumb. Anyways, what? This is a battle? They gave me the battle? Oh my god. Hold up. Hold up. 1 sec. Pause. Skip to the end. Upload and share replay. Come on, people. It's not that hard. Good lord. Alright, there we go. Anyways, we have the Utah Hoots taking on the Silver Bohemians. Susie's going to win this in a 1-0 fashion. Archeops is a weekly hero, although Archeops' team did not win. And a nice victory from Susie coming out here. And let's go ahead and see it. We got Mega Gallade taking on the Empoleon, which heavily favors Mega Gallade. It's a free close combat here. Susie's going to go into his Big Bear over there, which takes actually nothing. That I want you to understand. That's a Mega Gallade, 165 attack. It did less than half on a super effective close combat stab. What is this? What is this? It's such a... Beware's a fat mon. Draft Beware. Anyways, our Bombi is going to be U-turning out on this Dragalge. As Dragalge sets up Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes, the main appeal there is for the Kyurem. But the Uxie does go for Rocks, as Empoleon is going to take nothing from that Thunderbolt and is going to get up Rocks of its own. Now, Uxie is going to go ahead and U-turn out into the Rotom Mo, which can pressure this thing out. But Empoleon is going to go for a Roar, so not bad. Susie's going to be controlling the switching from TJ at this point. And he's now going to go for another Roar, as out comes the Archeops. So not the greatest situation for TJ. Susie does not want to take an Earthquake here, though. And TJ is packing the Tectonic Rage, so Susie just goes into his Mamoswine. And TJ does not want to take an Ice Shard, and Susie just goes for the Icicle Crash instead. And he's going to stay in, he's going to get Psyshocked, and then he's going to go for a knockoff. So this Mamoswine will claim the first kill of the match, as out comes the Kyurem, which is going to take a lot from Hazards and Toxic. But the Mamoswine is not going to opt to go for the Ice Shard and just goes for an Ice Beam instead, possibly not wanting this Kyurem to sub up. And Big Boy Beware is not going to be able to take that hit, which is a little unfortunate. But Susie might just be waiting for it to be in range for like Flash Cannon or something. As he does go for the Flash Cannon, and he's going to have to swap out now because he doesn't want to take this hit with Rotom Rotom. But Rotom is going to go for the Defog, but pretty much the damage has been done for the most part. Kyurem is going to be chipped down heavily, but Ribombee is going to come out, and Ribombee is going to see Toxic Spikes be set up in its face. It's going to go for the Moonblast, but is then going to die to the Thunderbolt. Despite the special attack drop, still kills. And Archeops is going to go ahead and come out and then kill this thing off with an Earthquake. But Big Boy Tapu Koko can come out and just fire off a pretty free attack here. As Susie's going to go for the U-turn, very good play. He's going to catch this thing. And Mega Pinsir is going to come out and do what it does best and click buttons and kill stuff. Archeops is going to come out. Susie does not want to be outsped and killed, but TJ is going to make a good play and just go for the Earthquake here. But this Tapu Koko is looking really, really good at this stage. And Wild Charge plus something like Dazzling Gleam is going to be able to pick off the Kyurem, or just Wild Charge in general. Susie does not want to risk the fact that this might be a Scarf Kyurem, so he's going to go ahead and swap out into the Mega Pinsir. He's going to get that right, as it is Earth Power. And Susie's going to make a really good play staying in here. TJ just went for the All or Nothing, where he tried to predict the Tapu Koko coming in. But this Mega Pinsir is just going to be repeatedly hitting hard with this return. It's going to be really hard for TJ to stay above that defeatist line, just because return does knock him so low. And with that crit, that pretty much sinks any chance of TJ being able to stay above that line. I don't really know what TJ's playing for at this point. I mean, Tapu Koko just straight wins, so we can just go to that point because this is kind of boring. He's going to go for the Rock Slide. It kills, but Tapu Koko kills anyways, so I don't really know what he was playing for at that point. But yeah, that is going to be the game, and Susie's going to pick up a nice 1-0 victory over TJ. And for the last match, we have the Seattle Togedemaru's taking on the Houston Hoopas, as Brett will be handed his first official loss of the ASL, and Mega Medicham will be getting a weekly hero for the week, as AZ is going to be 2-1, so props to him for that. And yeah, so you have Scyther coming out against the Jirachi, and Jirachi is going to go for the Reflect, as Scyther goes for the U-turn, going out into the Ferrothorn, as Jirachi is going to go for the Hidden Power Fire, which does not even do half, and this Ferrothorn is going to get off a Leech Seed, so Ferrothorn's feeling pretty comfortable right now. It doesn't want to take another HP Fire. There's really no point, but you can go into Miltank and potentially set up some rocks. So that is it, what AZ is going to do, and Brett goes out into his Jellicent, which then fires off a Will-O-Wisp, and AZ is going to use his Ferrothorn core, and his Ferrothorn Toxapex core, Toxapex Unova, and Ferrothorn Unova. So I like it. Good nicknames. And the Ferrothorn is going to go for a Leech Seed. It can feel comfortable staying in just due to the fact that Hidden Power Fire won't kill, but AZ just decides to go into his Landorus. And after seeing the fact that this thing was Hyper Cutter, it was pretty clear that it's Yachi Berry. But Lando can go for the U-turn, as Trimeco is the Lando answer. Interesting, to say the least. But Scyther does go for the U-turn here. And out comes the Toxapex. So the Clefable is going to go for the Protect, just seeing what this Toxapex wants to do to it. And then is going to go out into the Jirachi, just trying to pressure it with a Psychic type move more than likely. As the Toxapex is not going to be able to Scald Burn, but it is able to get off some Toxic Spikes, as Jirachi is going to hit that thing pretty hard. But Lando is going to come out in the process. So Lando can fire off a pretty free Earthquake here. Or I guess a knockoff, trying to predict the Chimecho. This works too. Unfortunately, it will be disabled, but AZ's play was to U-turn out anyways, so I guess it really doesn't matter. And Jellicent is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here, which is going to burn the Ferrothorn. Little unfortunate, but Ferrothorn can go ahead and fire off that big Leech Seed, get some health back with its Leech Seed on the Gliscor. And Gliscor is going to set up some rocks, as Ferrothorn is going to proceed to set up some spikes. So Ferrothorn is just going to try and hazard stack, as Brett will be forced into a position where he has to defog away his own rocks, which is a little unfortunate to say the least. But this Gliscor is in a really tough spot. We're going to see that it is guaranteed Unaware or Cute Charm Clefable. Don't sleep. This Clefable is going to go for a Flamethrower, gets a crit, which is really unfortunate. And this Ferrothorn is going to be swapped out. AZ might want to sack it against something like the Rachi. But this Miltank is going to get a Brox as Rachi's going to be wished back up. So now AZ goes out into his Landorus as the Jirachi just goes for a Reflect and then goes for a big Psychic. Landorus is going to crit it. So I think the crit mattered because the Reflect was up. I don't know for sure though. And this Chimecho is going to go ahead and go for the recover, heal itself back up. Chimecho can also cover or carry Defog, so we'll see. But I'm going to guess that that's a Hidden Power Ice coming out. And Jellicent is going to be sacked off. And yeah, these hazards are putting in absolute work for AZ right now. Skyscore is going to be able to get off a Defog, but the Scyther is going to go ahead and U-turn into Medicham, which Medicham basically just gets to claim a kill here. High Jump Kick is going to be able to go ahead and kill this thing. Out comes the Chimecho though, which is going to go for the Shadow Ball, gets a crit on Scyther, but Scyther gets a really free U-turn here, unless AZ wants to go ahead and fire off that Roost. And now he's going to go ahead and U-turn. He can go ahead and U-turn into Landorus. It's not a threat for being killed with this thing. Or the threat of Landorus not killing, rather. So Landorus is going to U-turn. Out comes the Scyther again. Scyther just goes for the Aerial Ace. As Clefable is going to go for the Wish and is likely going to just go for the Protect here. So, I mean, we can just skip through this. It's just going to be Wish protecting. We're going to see a Zen Headbutt and a Flinch. It really doesn't matter. In all honesty, because pretty much the Clefable would have just gotten the kill on Mega Medicham, and then Gren is not winning the entire game anyways, so does it really matter? No, it doesn't. And Gren is going to be able to get an Ice Beam kill onto this Ferrothorn, and just out comes the Scyther, which can go ahead and U-turn on out. And is going to almost kill it, but AZ is going to give his last kill to Mega Medicham, which is going to go for the Fake Out and get rid of Greninja. So that is going to be the game, AZ winning 5-0. And with that, that is going to be the video, guys. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Next video you will be seeing on our channel should be on Friday, top plays with TCP. But yeah, go ahead and follow us on Twitter, which might be in the description. I don't know if it's in the description yet, but subscribe to us on YouTube so you guys know when we are live. You can get a link to the Discord server down below. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching. We will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.